Good morning, Floyd County High School. I'm Olivia Jones.
And I'm Rachel Hylton.
And you're watching the Buffalo Rewind.
Rewind. And here's your 2-week sports recap.
January 31st was homecoming, where the basketball girls took on Auburn and the boys took on Bassett.
The Lady Buffs took down Auburn with a win of 55-50, and the boys also had a win against Bassett with a score of 61-53, which led to 2 very successful homecoming games.
Also, this year's homecoming game, the winner homecoming king and queen were announced.
Congratulations to JC Chaffin and Kayla Belcher.
In other exciting news from recent basketball games, the varsity boys took on Glenver at Glenver, ending the game with another win of 63-61.
At the end of the game, one of Glenver's coaches tried to rumble up the rivalry between the two teams a little further with Floyd County's head boys basketball coach, Brian Harmon.
Nothing quite like high school basketball out there. The boys had a lot of close matches this week, with one of them being one of their biggest games of the year against Radford at home.
It was a close fight the whole time, but ended with a loss for our Floyd County Buffaloes with a score of 73-66.
But they did beat Carroll this last week with a score of 65-64, and everyone was holding their breath in the last few seconds of the game, waiting to see what would happen.
That's not true. I was breathing just fine.
The varsity girls basketball team had senior night last Tuesday to celebrate Jaden and Carly Nichols' last season as Lady Buffs. And man, they wiped the floor with James River.
The boys also won their senior night game against Pulaski with a score of 63-52 on Wednesday.
Good luck to both of our basketball teams as they finish out their seasons with just a few games left to go. The wrestling team also did well this last weekend at Regions.
Gus Chaffin and Davis Goff both placed 4th, and Josh Fletcher will be going to states on the 18th. Great job, you guys.
That wraps up this week's sports recap. We'll be back to you guys right after this short break.
Did you see number 1 on Pulaski's basketball team?
Oh my gosh, he was so fine.
Y'all know we don't have commercials, right?
We don't? Oh, okay. Well, then we're just going to go out to Kaiden and Jacob with the weather.
Okay.
Hi guys, welcome back to the BWC, where we're out here in this lovely but slightly windy weather today.
This week's weather is all over the place as usual for Floyd.
We'll be starting this week in the mid-30s and ending it in the low to mid-50s.
It's going to be windy, sunny, cloudy, and rainy this week, so prepare for anything.
That's it for the Buffalo Weather Show. Actually, the empty studio. So Kaiden, how do you prevent a summer cold?
I don't know how.
Catch it in the winter.
Okay.
Thanks, you guys. Now it's time for our Valentine's Day special.
Now we'd like to introduce our senior Buffalo bachelors.
First up, Nate Shanta. Welcome, Nate.
Nice having me. Thank you.
So Nate, what are some of your favorite things to do?
I would like to say I like working out. Games, for sure.
Yeah, cool. Would you consider yourself more of a city person or a country person?
I say I'm a good mix, you know. I like them both.
And Nate, what are you looking for in a woman?
Someone who really just cares about me. Like, I'm a sensitive person. I like someone who cares. That's all.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Nate.
Thank
and
you.
next up, we're going to have Easton Griffith. Welcome to the show, Easton.
Thank you for having me.
Easton, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I work at Slaughter Supermarket.
Anything else about yourself that you'd like to share?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well then, for our next question, what would you say is your ideal first date?
Maybe chilling in the break room at Slaughter Supermarket.
Sounds fun.
And what is it you're looking for in a woman?
I would like a rich woman.
I mean, I guess you gotta have your priorities straight.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Easton.
You're welcome.
And last but not least, Ashton Agnew. Welcome to the show, Ashton.
It's great being here.
Ashton, who is your current celebrity crush?
I'd have to go with the one I've had my whole life, which is Jennifer Aniston.
Solid choice. So, Ashton, how do you think your best friend would describe you?
They definitely say I'm just a really calm, at peace person most of the time.
And of course, what are you looking for in a woman?
I guess one that can cook. I guess that'd be the best option.
Anything else?
No, just cook.
Wow.
Be a good cook.
Well, thanks for coming to the show,
It
Ashton.
was great being here.
Thank you to all of our Buffalo Bachelors for joining us on the show today. And now it's time for this week's piece of useless advice.
If you're tired of having to boil water for your pasta, just boil a few gallons at the beginning of the week and then just freeze it for later.
Thanks, Rachel. And now for a few quick announcements for the week. First of all, the results are in from last week's poll. What is the best cafeteria food?
And the best cafeteria food is
Popcorn chicken! In this week's poll, what is the best game to play in PE has been emailed to your teachers, and the results will be out on next week's episode.
Attention seniors, if you'd like to be featured on the Senior Future Plans yearbook page, make sure to pick up a form outside the main office.
That's it for today's episode. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, and make sure to tune in to next week's episode of The Buffalo Rewind. The girls had their senior night last Tuesday to celebrate Jaden and Carly's nickel.
And now we'd like to introduce our senior Buffalo Bachelors.
First up, Nate Shanta.
Oh, no, that was bad.
Thanks, you guys. Now it's time for our Valentine's Day special.
That was so good. That was